Like Mr. Murray, I want to thank you for your time and attention. I know that there are places we would all rather be today than sitting in this courtroom all day long, but what we do here is important. We have a judge here that says the jury process is really the most impactful way that an ordinary citizen can participate in their government, and I think that's probably pretty true. I want to clear up a couple things right out of the gate. Mr. Murray keeps challenging me to do things, so here I go. I've stood in front of a lot of juries and talked to them about DUI less safe, and I've had officers talk about field sobriety and the breath test that they do at the jail and all that good stuff. And the reason that we do that is because in that case, we don't have a crime lab, okay? When we talk about the smell of alcohol or how a defendant's slurring their speech, we're doing those things to prove DUI when we do not have crime lab, right? You have a crime lab witness. She got on the stand and she said that this test is the gold standard of blood tests. One convenient thing that Mr. Murray left out of his closing statement is that witness also told you that non-refrigeration of the sample would result in a decreased blood alcohol, not an increase. That's important. I don't know if you guys caught that. She said that even if it weren't refrigerated, even if that were a factor, it would make the blood alcohol go down, not up. And he's conveniently left that out of his little speech about fermentation. Much has been made about Mr. Foster having ADHD or cerebral malaria, and he might. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. He might. But I do know that neither of those things gives you a blood alcohol of 0.107. They may make you act funny. They may make you behave a particular way on the side of the road. I don't know. Mr. Murray doesn't know that. He wants to insinuate that, to have you guys speculate that, to try to ignore the fact that we have crime lab that says that Mr. Foster was clearly over the 0.08 legal limit. It's just red herrings to get you to think about other things. Mr. Foster, much has been made about Mr. Foster being a very intelligent man, and he probably is. He thinks he's smarter than you. He thinks he's smarter than the cops. He thinks he's smarter than the judge. He's probably smarter than me, for real. Sure. But he's not smarter than a GBI crime lab test. And he's definitely not smarter than the scientist who can get on the stand and tell you what that means. She said, think about this logically. What would the GBI have to gain from allowing a test to sit for too long before they tested it? What would they gain from that? What would I gain from that? What would the officers gain from that? The only person who has anything to gain from raising those issues is Mr. Murray and his client. Fortunately for us, we don't have to be very smart to figure this case out. This is not a Nancy Drew mystery. We don't have to get out our little eyeglass thing, whatever those things are called. We know he was driving. He admits he was driving, right? We know he was driving on Walnut Avenue at 2:30 in the morning with no headlights on, right? And we know because our crime lab tells us that he was over the legal limit of 0.08. We know those things. It's simple. It's a checklist. Boom, boom, boom. The judge is going to read you the elements of DUI and part of her charges. I'm not going to read them to you again. She reads them better than I do anyway. But when you look at those elements, you're going to see it's check, 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 check. And everything else that Mr. Murray has brought to your attention in his impassioned closing is nonsense designed to distract you from the fact that you have checkbox number 1, checkbox number 2, and checkbox number 3. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your service. What you do here is important, and I don't have anything else.